parents, Dr. Tony Ebel checking in here, and if you're watching this video, you are either just reading or just done reading Francesca's amazing story and testimonial, or you're digging into an article perhaps about the vagus nerve or seizures on our website. And within that article or within that testimonial, we always want to make sure we answer this question that has probably come to you right now. How in the heck does this work? How in the heck would I find out if my child has the same subluxation, dysautonomia, vagus nerve challenges that Francesca did, and therefore would benefit from neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic care in the way the PX Docs Network does? Well, the best way we can teach you that is to take just 3 to 5 minutes here and break down Francesca's scans. These are called the Insight neurological scans, and simply put, these scans look for that stress, that tension, that disorganization called, one word, subluxation on the central and autonomic nervous system. What we're able to do with the scans is 3 things. Number 1, find out if it's there. Number 2, if so, quantify it and see how much we're dealing with, really kind of how bad things are. And number 3, locate it and get what we call the pattern analysis of the subluxation. So we won't go nerdy neurological all the way like you're another chiropractor. I promise we'll make sure this is a parent understanding, easy to get through way of looking at this. So as you're looking here on my iPad, what you're going to see on this initial scan for Francesca is that we see tons and tons of tension through her upper cervical. So C1 is the atlas area. That's really the brainstem. That is right where the vagus nerve originates and begins from. And then we see all of this tension even more so in her shoulders, in her traps, in her upper torso. What the vagus nerve does is the vagus nerve, as you learn about in that article, is the wandering nerve, and it comes from this brainstem area at top of the neck, and it makes its way all the way through the neck or the cervical spine, and it wanders or branches out, and it controls things like heart rate, respiratory rate, digestion. And what we also now know is that the vagus nerve, kind of hard to see on this image, but it goes to the eyes, it goes to the mouth, it goes to the ears, and it controls our social, emotional regulation as well. So that's why vagus nerve problems will lead to not only the stuff we've always known with sleep, so rest and digest sort of challenges, but it'll also really mess with things like anxiety and with seizures and with big neurological things, because the vagus nerve is the brake pedal. It's what calms our nervous system down. So any condition that is tied to an excessive sympathetic fight or flight response, so too much gas pedal, too much stress, and too little brake pedal, too little parasympathetic, too little vagus nerve tone, which is really pretty much any and every condition, can be related to the vagus nerve. Now you can really see that down here on the HRV. Perhaps the best measurement of this dysautonomia vagus nerve sort of challenge, so anxiety, seizures, especially in the big department, is HRV, heart rate variability. The beating or the variability and the rhythm of our heart rate is completely under the control of the autonomic nervous system. If we're more in sympathetic fight or flight, obviously our heart rate's going to go up and things are going to happen. If we're more relaxed, parasympathetic, vagus nerve, we're going to slow down. But even more advanced than that, even more detailed, what it's really looking at is the variability. And what we see with Francesca's first scans is that we see that was really, really what we call lower left. So this lower left quadrant, where that white dot is where her HRV is plotting, as we call it. That means she is shifted to the left, fully sympathetic dominant, which is the same thing as saying her vagus nerve or parasympathetic system is not working, because the vagus really works over here. So that system is exhausted. The sympathetic fight or flight is stuck on. And what happens is we go down the y-axis here, called the activity index, is we run out of energy. So this is why her digestion was a mess. This is why there was constipation. This is why there was exhaustion, mentally, physically, emotionally. And then let's finish this video with giving you the good news. This is where things were just a couple of weeks later. So Francesca was an intensive case with having a decades-long battle with constipation, with seizures, with anxiety, and all those things. So we did a very active, what's called perfect storm or neurological intensive in our office, and she was getting neurologically focused, what we call neurotonal adjustments, twice a day for 2 weeks. And look at these changes. I'm gonna actually switch colors. I don't know. I suppose green is good, right? So we'll go with green. Look at how much less tension is in her neck. Look at how much more relaxed her EMG and neuromuscular system is. And you were able to see that on her physically. And then this is the coolest thing ever. Look at how her HRV, which is the #1 determinant of dysautonomia and vagal nerve function, and HRV is really what you're gonna see take over all of healthcare over the next 10 to 20 years and really be the most important exam, the most important assessment that really anybody with any challenge, kids and adults included, can get. HRV is just, it's everything. You'll see that she made a full, not only up on the y-axis and has so much more energy, but she shifted towards the parasympathetic healing, rest, digest, repair, and what we call restoration side of the nervous system. Because here's the story, here's the scoop, and here's the science. Every single child is meant to heal. The most important system to get healing first is the nervous system. If we open the hood to the central and autonomic nervous system and say, which wire, which nerve should we check first? Where should we work? Where should we activate? Where should we repair and restore things first? You better believe it's the vagus nerve. It is the single most important nerve that God put inside of us all. And what you are finding out here through these articles and through these patient testimonials is just how important it is for a case like Francesca. But it's in play for colic. It's in play for ear infections. It's in play for ADHD. And I could go on and on and on the list. If your child is struggling at all and you think that those answers are really possibly in the nervous system with subluxation, with the vagus nerve, with dysautonomia, with these things that the standard pediatrician and the standard medical system just doesn't look for, then keep going through this article, keep going through this website, make your way to the guides and the downloads we have that will teach you more about these different things that you can do for your child. And then once you're really, really ready, get on a webinar, learn more about it. Or if you're really, really, really ready, get to the directory, get a hold of one of our local trained doctors. I trained them myself through the PX Docs network and book your appointment for these scans for your child. And I can't wait to see the absolute expect miracles and experience miracle story for your Francesca, for your child, once you do just that. God bless, be well. Hope this helped you. Please share this article. Please share these videos. Please share this content. It is the missing link for so many kids who are struggling and just don't need to anymore.